Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on Fawnhollow today? On an island of Fawnhollow today. I missed a word out in that sentence there, but I couldn't figure out where it went. Just sticking random words into sentences until you get a functional phrase? Sentence? Hold on. I'm saying sentence too many times. It's starting to lose its meaning. Anyway, where am I going with this? Nowhere. Like half my conversation topics go. Anyway, we're just going to see what we've got going on today. We already know we got Kix as our visitor for today, so not much to do about that. Just got to make our snowman and we'll see. No campsite visitor? It's been a while since we had a campsite visitor, I think. Been over a week? Over a week? Yeah, I don't remember who our last campsite visitor was. Was it Bunny? That was ages ago. It couldn't have been Bunny. We definitely had someone between Bunny and now. I don't know. Is it important? Not really. We're just going to go about our daily business and then maybe do a bit more decorating. I don't know. Whatever floats our boat. Or sinks it. I don't know why I'd want to sink our boat. Now I think about it, it doesn't really make sense. Now, bit of a nonsensical phrase. Anyway, what have I been up to today? Not much. Been a drill. You know the drill. Bit of drawing, watching videos, played a game of TFT. Didn't go very well. Oh, you know what? I didn't actually think about it. You probably have a Christmas shoes, don't you? You don't have any Christmas items. Intriguing. Intriguing. We're going to go about... Of course, we need to get 2 more fossils. One to give to Jakey, one to give to Harry, and one to... Why do I keep saying Harry isn't Harry? I don't know. I'm changing my accent on the fly, just for fun of it. And one to give to dear old Raymond. And then, yeah, we'll do our decorations. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, 2. Apparently all our fossils are just quite in this one area. That makes it rather easy. You know what, I bet the snowball's over there to the left as well. So we unfortunately didn't make a perfect snowman yesterday. It was honestly just my bad. Because I tried to make it like right next up to this river, but as I pushed it, it didn't quite work. I'm winning with Ireland's Best Snow Person of 2020 award. There isn't a lot of competition, but I heard the judge value slight imperfections over flawlessness. Thank you. I didn't know you were still here. Too much, just craft something cool. Okay, yeah, I suppose we can start trying to craft some of the ice furniture. Some of it, I'm looking at it. Like, the problem is with a lot of these furniture sets is a lot of them aren't suitable really for outside things. Like, am I going to put like a dining table outside? Also, a snowball isn't on this side for once. Am I going to put a dining table outside? With a dining chair? How many buried things are there? The fossils are all in like very convenient locations for some reason. Like, am I going to put a dining table outside and a bed? Like, you can't even put the wallpaper outside, so that doesn't really make any sense. So it's sort of like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I suppose that's for me to figure out, and not you. Although if you have any suggestions, do let me know. But no, I don't know. What have I been watching recently? You know what I watched recently? Ever heard of someone called Skara? I haven't actually really been watching his videos, but I watched one of his videos, and it was him... And I suppose a group of his friends doing a World of Warcraft raid boss, because you know World of Warcraft Classic had a resurgence whenever it was released, and then I guess WoW itself has an actual resurgence now. I don't really know quite how it works out, nor the fine technicalities of it, but still, either way, WoW seems to be doing rather popular now. I mean, it's a game that's been out for a huge amount of years now, like 15 years maybe more than 15 years. Let me think. No, it's probably around 15 years. Harry, get up. I need to give you something. But yeah, around 15 years or something. So the fact it's still got a thriving player base is honestly testament to something. I'm hesitant to say amazing game design, but more like it definitely left a mark on the gaming world. It's honestly something I've considered playing before. It's actually something I have played before, because especially when you could play for free up to level 20 or so, I played for free for a little bit with my friends. The problem is with it's the same thing. I think I always bring this up when I talk about MMORPGs. It's a huge time investment to continuously grind up and stuff in MMORPGs. But the thing is, with when I'm watching these videos, a thing I really love to do, I don't think we bought this one before. I'm trying to see what else we haven't bought before. Probably, I doubt we bought the green colour. Despite and ivy green being my favourite colour. I actually don't know if that's my favourite colour anymore. My favourite colour sort of changed. You know, that's a conversation topic or different time. We're talking about WoW raids right now. You might not have known we're talking about WoW raids because I didn't actually say it yet until right now, but yeah. The thing, I always like watching these WoW gameplay things because I always like watching, I can't remember his name, I think it's like Fat Boss or something. There's a person who makes like guides for all the raids in World of Warcraft, and despite the fact I will never use that information, I still find it really fun to watch because I like seeing the mechanics they put into these boss fight things. If you know me, I'm a bit of a sucker for like boss rush style games. Cuphead, love it. That's valid. So I'm not really a sucker for it, I suppose. But I really do like... What's that noise? Did you hear that? Maybe that was just me. Maybe that was something on my end. I don't know. Yeah, I like watching his videos. He makes like guides on like the mythic and legendary and just the normal variants of a raid bosses. Of a dungeon, sorry, in World of Warcraft. And seeing like the strategies that you had to come up with to work together to fight these bosses is really cool. And I like seeing some of the mechanics that they come up with, I suppose Blizzard in this case, come up with for these boss fights. They're very interesting. Like some of them I remember. I don't know which boss this was, but because you often have quite a lot of people. Ow! I was hit check myself with a table. In these dungeons, maybe up to like 20ish or so, and it's really cool to see the coordination you need as a team to work together to overcome a strong foe, and the mechanics that you had to understand and dance around with to properly, you know, execute on it. I suppose that's just kind of my style. I like to see people working together to achieve a common goal, that sort of thing. I'm not really sure. Sorry about that. Here's a big question. What was I talking about? Oh, something about boss raids. I remember now. Yeah, those also, where are these snowballs? We haven't seen the snowman snowballs today. Have we? Have I missed them? Quite possibly. I wouldn't put it past me. But no, there's a boss where one of the attacks we'd had in the normal mode was it would choose two targets. One would be like an emitter, one would be oh, here it is. One would be the target, and it would fire a giant laser beam from the emitter to the target, which would go across the entire raid, potentially, if people didn't position themselves properly to avoid it. Sure, brilliant hat, why not? And I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool idea. And it was like an intriguing idea, intriguing boss mechanic, suitable for a raid. And then on the Mythic, which is like the more powered up version of the boss raids, dungeon raids as I understand it, like the harder versions, that attack now targets everyone in the raid. So everyone in the raid is now paired up, one person as the emitter, one person as the target. Where's the snowball gone? I can't see it anymore. Which results in like 10 lasers being spat across the screen, in which case you had to have a very careful positioning to ensure that you don't accidentally damage one of your allies, while also yourself avoiding everything else. But also because of the fact you're moving and everyone else is going to try and move to try and dodge off things, you have to move very minimally to make sure you don't mess up someone else's thing. And if that isn't just like the epitome of teamwork, I don't know what is. But I feel like I remember seeing a guide that the actual way that they go about it is they install like a mod or something which shows like on your minimap the direction of the lasers, which, you know, I mean, I understand why you would do that, because it's a rather difficult attack, I'd imagine, to dodge naturally. And it's just started raining, apparently. That's interesting. A rather difficult attack to dodge normally, but apart from that, it's like, fair enough, you know. It's a bit too difficult to try and dodge without some external help from like a mod or something like that. But it's cool, like the other attacks. I'm trying to think what other cool raid boss mechanics I've seen. Oh, you know what the coolest one I've seen is one where I think they're called like the three wind gods or something. Is this might be a bit small, hold on. The three wind gods or something. All I know is Alakir, the wind god, but it's not Alakir. as the other 3. Is this right? I'm gonna say that's right. Almost. What? I was like perfect size. Okay, the head might be a bit big. I think I go over on the head a bit too much. What do you think about Lily Bear? Which I need to be a bit more careful of, but really not taking as much care of it as I should be. But it's okay. As I say, we've got many days to do the snowman. What other? Oh yeah, the wind gods or whatever they are. There's basically 3 of them, and they're on 3 different platforms, and you can travel to each one using. They have basically transporters from one of their platforms to another one of their platforms. So from each platform you can go to a different one. But the thing is, these 3 bosses, you had to engage them all as a party. This is not one I've got before. I wonder if it sounds like Mambo number 5. I was going to say, I do not recognise some album art. No, you had to engage all 3 other bosses at the same time. I feel like I've spoken about this before in an Animal Crossing video. It must have been a really old one. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, not point. Yeah, you had to engage all 3 of them at the same time, because if you fail to engage one of them, it gives like a debilitating debuff. Like if you don't engage like the north wind person, you get like your entire like party gets silenced or something, so you can't cast abilities, which obviously is bad. And if you don't do the other one, then it's like all the other bosses get like bazillion armor, so they don't take any damage. And the other one is like, I can't remember. You take like a ridiculous amount of damage or something. Anyway, the point being is the premise of the fight is you had to engage all 3 of them at the same time, and you had to rotate your party out between them depending what seems fit. And I was like, this is such a cool concept. It's such a cool concept that it's actually sunk itself into my memory that I remember. I remember there was the ice one, there was like a storm, desert, sandy, dust one, and the other one was like a plant one, maybe water or something. I might... Does that make sense? That's not 4 elements. Ice, water, sand. But anyway. But I remember, the live one is just like, is basically a normal boss. He just summons a little ads being like minions he summons for like small other creatures to try and disrupt your progress. And then, so that one's not very interesting. I think he's got some, like, he puts down zones which like powers up himself and his minions. Something like that. You just sort of fight him normally. The ones I remember the most is there's the ice boss. Is like the strategy, like this one wasn't actually by that YouTube channel called Fat Boss, it was by Yogscast, I think. What do we have to do now? We had to decorate stuff. Where are we going to decorate? I don't even know. What can we even decorate? I don't know, I want to talk about this stuff instead, so instead we're going to go hunt for a lobster, I think. Yeah, but Ice Boss has, the way you're meant to do it is you put 1 tank and 1 healer on there, because I can't remember, I guess he's doesn't do a lot of damage or something, but what he does is he puts like a stacking debuff on whoever's tanking it, which as the stacks get higher and higher, eventually does more and more and more and more damage. So eventually what you have to do is you have to rotate that tank out to a different platform eventually, so, or the tank and the healer, maybe both of them have to rotate out every so often, so that the stacks don't get too high and they don't take ridiculous amounts of damage and stuff like that. And then I remember the sand boss is like, he's got like tornadoes around him in melee range, so it's really hard to do anything melee with him. You had to have like a range tank or something, and range DPS only, and a healer. And then I remember they have like an ultimate attack, where every so often like they have a bar which fills up to 100, and once that bar reaches 100, and they all unleash an ultimate attack. I don't remember what the plant boss one was. I say he was very boring. He might have like just become like frenzied or something for a bit. The ice one I remember was one that he does like a set amount of damage, but it's split between everyone standing on his platform. So what you do is you send basically all but 1 person from each of the other platforms to that ice platform, so everyone soaks up that attack, and then all they do the DPS such that all the health bosses' health bars are roughly equal, and then they go back to their respective platforms. And I was like, oh, that's a really cool idea. And now at the same time, you get the tank and healer on the ice one to switch out to the plant boss, or whatever. I was like, oh, genius. Like, the strategies he had to come up with to deal with these interesting mechanics, it tickles at the game designer part of my brain, I suppose. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the windy boss. He just like sends everyone really high up in the air, and 4 damage is a thing in that game. So you just have to leave someone on the platform who can survive 4 damage, or dodge 4 damage somehow. Something like that. I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then to tie in with that theme even further is all the bosses have to die within about a minute of each other, because if they don't, they start like regenerating. They start like healing each other up or something. So like if you kill one and the other two are still alive and you don't kill the other two in time, the one who died like regenerates up some amount of health or something. And I was like, oh, what a cool thematic, done amazingly well. Now I'm sure there's other bosses which perhaps don't lean into different thematics as hard or don't execute it as well, but that one really tickles my fancy, eh? Sure, you can have a scallop. I mean, I guess we could start putting these mermaid furniture items down, or we could start putting the bushes around. I forgot that's what I was meant to do. I was meant to see one of the bushes bloom. You might be the star of your own life, but everybody's hosting their own reality show, man. That's very true. Very true. You have a star of your own show, where everyone else supposedly is playing a supporting cast or something, but they've all got their own reality show at the same time. I just realised how dirty my screen is. I'm trying to clean it right now. Right in the middle of Animal Crossing episode? Is that what I want to do? Of course. Because what else am I going to do in Animal Crossing episode? I'm just talking about WoW bosses. That's a completely wrong game, you know? There we go. Yeah, what other cool mechanics have I seen in WoW raids? I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head. There's one of them, there's like 2 dragons. One of them, their attacks encourage you all to split up, and one of them encourage you to all stand together to soak damage or something. I thought that was a cool concept. And you fight them like they alternate, one on the ground, one in the air at the same time or something. Not at the same time, at alternate times. That was a cool concept. I just like it when, you know, I don't know if I like being one of the people who has to do the raid boss, and trying to come up with these strategies to defeat it. I'm sure there's some sort of cathartic release once you figure out how to do it, or there's some enjoyment in puzzling out different ideas and that sort of thing. But oh, that could be a lobster. That's very fast. Quite possibly a crab as well. But I don't know. I like sort of seeing the results that people come up with in an attempt to do these boss fights. It's always very intriguing to me. No, another crab. Just so many snow crabs instead of lobsters out and about. Makes it rather difficult to catch them, I will say. Anyway, surprisingly fast this one as well. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I was thinking more, I don't know, it's just cool patterns like that where they really have you work together team, almost make me want to play something like WoW, but then I'm like, that's so much time commitment, which I don't want to do. I mean, if I was someone who played WoW for the entire day for a career, maybe I'd like it, but I also might find that a bit unfulfilling. I like to do a range of things, unsurprisingly. And playing WoW all day, maybe not my sort of thing. I don't know. I used to like MMOs a lot when I was younger. Nowadays it's something a bit more by wayside. Oh, another pause. I don't remember exactly what I was talking about. I know I was talking about. I hope I wasn't in the middle of like a conversational thread. I just want to find this lobster. I have my accent, I don't know. But then we won't have to think about collecting deep sea creatures until March. Oh, this could be a lobster. Very, very fast. What other cool bosses did I see? I remember there was one. I can't remember really the details about it. Oh my god, how many snow crabs are there? I thought you were meant to be rare snow crabs. Shake my head. Anyway, there's one where there's like a robot, and there's like 4 different cores of a robot. No, 4 different bodies, I suppose, of a robot. But they all shared like one central core, and only like 2 of them could be powered on at the same time. Something like that. I don't really remember the details of that one, to be honest. It must be fun coming up with these different mechanic ideas. You sort of just like throw random things at a wall and be like, this doesn't fit that boss, but let's save it for a different boss or something. Come up with some crazy ideas. It's always fun to work with a thematic. Like maybe you can make one with lights and shadows. This guy like emits different lights from different areas of a room, but there's like pillars and stuff in a room, and you're safe in the shadows. And if you stay in the shadows, it's about maneuvering yourself into the shadows and I don't know. Things like that. You can even stay in the shadow of your teammates and whatnot. Would that be a good idea? I don't know. I'm not a game designer. Game designer could be interesting, might not be interesting. I suppose that's part of the fun, is you get to throw all these ideas at the wall and see what might work and what might not. Although I suppose also a less fun part is, you know, what if you just come up with hundreds and hundreds of ideas and you're just like, I'm out of ideas. What do I do now? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't have an answer for you. You just, then corporate's like, you got to come up with an idea right this second. We need 5 new bosses for this whole new dungeon. You're like, ah. Okay, probably less glamorous like that, but still. You know, good sides, bad sides, that sort of thing. How about that? Not everything's so black and white, just like that. Which could be another idea for a boss fight. Inverting colours? Probably not. Probably, now I think about it, could cause a lot of eye strain. You probably want it to look as aesthetically clear and pleasing as possible. Because people will be playing it for multiple hours every single day. Trying to beat it, perfect it, clear it for items, get that grind on, you know, something like that. I know, but like I used to play an MMORPG called Grand Fantasia, which, you know, that's a whole topic for a different day. Which is, I think it's still going on. It's just possibly another lobster, or is it another snow crab? We'll never know. But the bosses were never as mechanically interesting as the ones I've seen from raid guides and that sort of thing. They're all very much, you sort of just stand there. Oh, we did it. Yes, I got a lobster. L'objective complete. L'objective complete indeed. Cross that off a list. As we wait till March, basically, to donate our next ones. What was I saying? Yeah, I played Grand Fantasia. It was like the bosses used to sort of stand there. You basically didn't have to move. All the bosses had the same thing. They had applied some sort of debuff, and they spawn some number of adds, like minions, to fight with them. And then that's it. Now, I played a healer in my game. I played healers, supportive style roles, and a lot of online games because that suits my playstyle, I suppose. I like, it's what I do, and it's exactly the same. Every single boss fight is exactly. A few exceptions. In Grand Fantasia, click on the tank, press heal, press heal, press heal, press heal. Sometimes cleanse something, sometimes AoE heal. That's all you had to do in Grand Fantasia. The only thing you had to keep in mind was sometimes you don't want to heal too much in case you ended up taking the aggro from the tank. Yes, tell us some fascinating facts about lobster, why don't you? The lobster is rather famous for its 2 large claws, but did you know that, in fact, it has 6 claws in total? Of course, the 4 tiny claws aren't as threatening as a large crusher claw is. That pincer can put 100 pounds of pressure on in a pinch. Just a little something to bear in mind when the lobster tries to shake your hand. That is interesting. I don't really know what to make of that, but sure. No, what was my point? Oh yeah, the Grand Fantasia buttons, it's all the same. You just like, sometimes, like, I mean, if you're a DPS, if you're like a main DPS, single target DPS, you attack a boss. Just spam your abilities off cooldown. There's not really much thinking about it because a lot of the abilities are not that long. Cooldown wise, you just sort of just keep going, and then if you're a tank, you just like make sure you time your abilities such that they you have max aggro possible or something like that, or as they call it in that game, malice, which is what I have ended up calling it a lot of the time. Yeah, it's just like, it's not interesting, is it? Like, from a healer perspective, I don't know. Oh yeah, if you were like a multi-target DPS, like a wizard or something, you'd be the ones taking out the additional spawns. And I just remember sometimes raiding with like randomers and being a healer and being like, please take care of the ads, DPS. I can't take care of them. I need to focus on healing. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't know, it's a mixed bag. I suppose now the only thing we've got left to do is decorate, but I don't know what we're going to decorate, so it's going to be rather difficult. Yeah, the only interesting boss, I can't remember which boss it was. I think it was like a skeleton dog boss in Mutated Prairie Cave, or maybe just regular Prairie Cave, where there's a few bosses which inflicted the plague debuff on the tank, which basically meant they received no healing. And that's the only thing I had to look out for, was that when I see that plague, cure it. I suppose the interesting thing is they had 3 different types of debuffs in Grand Fantasia. It was like Curse, Plague, and something else I can't remember. And there's 3 different abilities to clear each one. So you had to sort of remember what was what and then use the correct spell to clear it, but apart from that, not much interesting going on there, hey? See, this is all very urbanized sort of decorations that we have, which is not really what we want. We want something more au naturel. Like, I suppose we can have our artisanal bug cage. Handcart. These seems like things you might see simple well in a farmland place. Talking about how it's around springtime, right? So we could put this in the bamboo foresty area. What else could we put down? Not really much else of this makes sense. I suppose we can start putting down some fencing, but I don't know where to put the fencing, if anything. None of this stuff really makes any sense. I guess cherry blossom bonsai. Yeah, that's the only thing you really need to keep track of. In Grand Fantasia, at least. Could be more interesting. Yeah, I know. I played a sage up to level 40 when I stopped playing, and then like a few years later we had a resurgence and I played a prophet or cleric up to level 65 or something. Then we stopped playing. Honestly, because it's just like not interesting. But whenever I see the WoW things, obviously we didn't play WoW because he had to subscribe to WoW at the time, and I was a poor 12-year-old or whatever who didn't have that sort of money. Well, I did, but I thought it was a waste of money because I didn't want to play it by myself. I wanted to play it with my friends, and oh wow, we really don't have much to decorate with, do we? How many items did I withdraw? 4? I don't even know where to put some of these things. We can figure it out. Yeah, it was just could have been more interesting. And when I see the WoW raid bosses, I'm like, wow, that seems really cool. Especially when WorldStar came out. You remember that? It's an old MMO which completely flopped because of terrible management by NCSoft or whoever made it. I saw their bosses and I was like, wow, that looks so fun, looks so cool. Apparently it was actually extraordinarily exhausting playing WorldStar because you had so much to keep track of. That is literally what I just picked up. I meant to put down the other well. Well, what do we have here? That's not really how wells work. You can't really just put them on the edge of a cliff and expect it to be okay. Something like that's probably fine. These bushes will be moving once we figure out where they go. Suppose a spring blossom makes more sense over here. You're meant to be the spring themed, aren't you? Spring themed, animal themed. That's what's meant to be going on over here, right? Not a brick well. What do I have a handcart for? Is this an actual bug cage? It's kind of hard to tell. But for some reason it's also a wardrobe, which honestly doesn't make any sense, but still. It's just how it is. Could put a floating bio pote over ER. Brickwell will put... This one will actually put near Raymond, because I think that makes all sense. What does this handcart even look like? Ah! It's one of those. That will put over by Raymond's house. Actually, we can put it in the farm. I suppose that makes more sense. I guess we need to start decorating this winter area a bit more. Now, especially we've got some winter items. Well, some. I've been mostly messing up for snowmen, so not as many as we could have. But I'll put this down. I'll put the well down. Where? I don't know. Where even makes sense? Here? That doesn't really make sense. That's right by the ocean. Right by the ocean. Maybe somewhere like over here. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Anyway, it's probably about time to wrap up this episode. I know. Raid bosses are cool in MMORPGs. Just don't have time. But anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, all greatly appreciated. If you want to join Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff. I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.